Welcome to The Know, I'm Meg Turney.
And I'm Marquis.
For some time now, we've had a pretty good idea that the internet and politicians really don't mix very well. But now you've really done it, internet. You've taken your trolling to the highest levels of the United States government.
Over the weekend, Katherine Clark, a Massachusetts congresswoman, was swatted at her home in Melrose. She was apparently watching HBO's Veep with her husband when police lights flooded her home and a team of officers stormed her front lawn with rifles.
The Melrose Police Department said they received a phone call reporting an active shooter at the address with a computer-generated voice. Rather than a whole SWAT response, they sent a team of armed officers. Anytime Apple's Alex gives you a call, you know that something probably isn't on the up and up.
Fortunately, nobody was hurt in the incident, which is just the latest in a string of high-profile swattings that have happened in the last couple of years, including Tom Cruise, Ashton Kutcher, Justin Bieber, and Snoop Dogg.
I didn't know any of those.
Yeah, barely Snoop Dogg, no. More recently, the focus has shifted to Twitch gamers and other internet personalities. I think we can all agree that the most disappointing part of this story is that Representative Clark wasn't teabagging noobs on Call of Duty when this happened.
Hey, she could have been. We don't even know her life. I was watching Veep, I swear. Take it, bitch. All right, well, a U.S. Congresswoman being the victim of a swatting prank is certainly newsworthy. What makes this whole thing even more interesting is why Clark was likely targeted. She's the sponsor of legislation that would make swatting a federal crime. Clark introduced the Interstate Swatting Hoax Act back in November, aiming to take down the dangerous practice that is costing thousands of taxpayer dollars and endangering the lives of innocent people.
Clark is also the champion of the Prioritizing Online Threats Enforcement Act, which mandates the Department of Justice and FBI to pursue serious online threats to the fullest extent of the law, especially where it concerns women. Prior to the new legislation, only 10 incidents of cyberstalking had been investigated by federal prosecutors of the 2.5 million incidents reported from 2010 through 2013.
Wow, asked if this whole ordeal would curb her desire to keep pursuing federal punishment for would-be swatters, she laughed in your faces, saying, "I think they have underestimated my commitment to making sure that we do stop this practice. It will really cause me to double down," which is basically the equivalent in Washington of a big old double burger.
Going hard.
Yeah.
Going after the woman that's trying to stop swatting seems about as smart as blackmailing Bruce Wayne because you think he's Batman. But when has this kind of thing ever made sense? According to statistics from the FBI, there are now more than 400 swatting incidents occurring every year, some of which have cost law enforcement agencies upwards of $100,000.
That's a lot, and not to mention how much danger it puts both police officers and the victims in. But hopefully some good will come, of course, from this incident. The legislation against swatting has already got bipartisan support and will likely get even more attention now that this has happened to one of the lawmakers' peers.
Of course, government personnel and internet trolls are no strangers to each other, and this is just the latest entry in their wacky, often bumpy relationship. And these instances range from more serious crimes like swatting or hacking to the silly, like when Twitter United asked Obama about One Direction's former member Zayn Malik during a Twitter Q&A on climate change.
These are the important questions we're dealing with here. He also got like the dog pants question in an interview.
Right.
Really important stuff. Back in 2013, the internet launched Operation Troll the NSA, where a site called for people everywhere to jam NSA scanners by emailing or calling friends with messages filled with terror keywords and phrases. I don't even want to say them, but here they are. Financial district. I need those blueprints to complete my job. That's a pretty good one.
I'm waiting for them to storm in.
Death to millions of Americans. That took off there. While many thought that it was the work of Anonymous, it turned out to be some BuzzFeed employees. How is that real?
They're hardcore, I guess. A more elaborate and successful trolling measure of the NSA and UK equivalent GCHQ took place in Berlin when artists installed antennas on the Swiss embassy in Berlin and the Academy of Arts, right between the listening posts of the NSA and the GCHQ. This enabled anybody with a Wi-Fi enabled device to send anonymous messages directly to anybody who happened to be listening, which, of course, was probably happening all of the time. One of the artists even gave a TED Talk on the epic trolling.
And that sounds like a good way to get yourself shot. Like, sweet troll.
The very minimum
dead.
tased.
Yeah, exactly. Please don't tase me, bro. All right. Who could forget the time New Zealand opened themselves up to trolling when they asked for public submissions for a new flag? The internet, never ceasing to disappoint, came out in full force with Nyang Kiwis, sheep, space invaders, and more. There had to have been a dick butt. I want a dick butt flag, people.
Well, it's good to know. In less legal territory, government agencies have been the target of hackers from time to time as well. Back in October, a high school student reportedly hacked CIA Director John Brennan's AOL account and then bragged about it to a bunch of websites. And I'm not sure which is more frightening, that a high schooler could access confidential information from personnel at literally the highest levels, or that the same personnel still has an AOL account.
It's all very shameful. Then there was the time that the Guardians of Peace, the group behind the enormous Sony breach back in 2014, taunted the FBI's attempts to investigate them. In a message posted online, the GOP called the FBI the best in the world and linked to a video gift for the government agency which featured flailing drawings and the words, "You are an idiot."
Classy as always.
Yes.
The U.S. government has likewise committed its fair share of troll-worthy acts. Last year, the CIA pretended that its Twitter feed was hacked by Russians in order to build hype for their declassified files about sneaking copies of Dr. Zhivago into Russia during the Cold War. While it's hard to top that troll job that the NSA is performing on the entire country, leaks by Edward Snowden did provide us a glimpse into government agencies literally hiring trolls to manipulate and control online discourse with extreme tactics of deception and reputation destruction.
So many air quotes. Yes.
So every time you see someone crazy in the comments, it might be someone from an intelligence agency, which is not completely frightening at all.
Yeah, not at all. Lest you think Congress itself is innocent of trolling, let's not forget that time that Capitol Hill got banned from using Wikipedia because it kept making trollish edits. These edits included conspiracy theories about reptilians. Reptilians? That's what they're a thing? Interesting. Cuba faking the moon landing and calling Donald Rumsfeld an alien wizard.
Which he is, of course.
Yes.
The constant disruptive edits forced Wikipedia administrators to ban all IPs originating from Congress for 10 days. Thanks for the great use of taxpayer dollars, Congress. By the way, you can totally monitor congressional activity on Wikipedia by following the Twitter bot Congress Edits. And it's amazing.
Yes, just as good as you think it would be. So of course, this latest incident of Katherine Clark swatting won't be the last time internet trolls and the government run afoul of one another. Let's just hope that next time it's more of the friendly One Direction variety and not something as malicious as sending police officers to an innocent woman's home.
In general, these kinds of pranks seem like fun and games until they're suddenly not. And hopefully we can see some real movement on Clark's proposed legislation and some meaningful action out of it in the future. I mean, come on, let's keep the jokes on the internet and out of people's front lawns.
Please. Unless it's like flaming bags of poop. That's still funny.
That's still good.
So what are your thoughts on swatting? Will it ever be stopped? And what's your favorite government trolling story?
Like this video and subscribe to The Know for all the latest showdowns between the government and trolls. And for minute-by-minute updates on Zayn Malik.
Way to end it. Nailed it. That was it. That was a great first one. Great
Right.
first read. I expected that they would join in clapping, but nobody else did.
Sorry.
Are you ready? Mm-hmm. Welcome to The Know. I'm Meg Turney.
And I'm Aaron Marquis.
Yes! I love when people have never done a read and they fuck that part
I'm Meg
up.
Turney.
It's not in the prompter. Bitches.